Balakong Assemblyman dies in car accident. Zawawi Mughni is PKR candidate for Sungai Kandis. Good afternoon. Thanks for choosing News on 2. You're with me, Renee Fong. Balakong State Assemblyman Ng Tian Chi died in an accident along the Grand Saga Highway at about 12:30 midnight. 40-year-old Ng passed away at the scene due to severe head injuries. Kajang District Police Chief ACP Ahmad Zafir Muhammad Yusof confirmed the incident, adding that Ng was on his way from Kuala Lumpur to Kajang. The incident is believed to have taken place when the victim's car, a Nissan X-Trail, rammed into the rear end of a lorry. The victim died at the scene as a result of the collision. The body was later taken to Serdang Hospital for post-mortem. At the 14th general election, Ng from DAP defeated BN's Lim Chin Wah and Muhammad Ibrahim Ghazali from PAS with a majority of 35,538 votes. Ng's untimely death will trigger a second by-election post-GE14. The first is due to be held on August 4th for the Sungai Kandis State constituency following the death of its assembly person, Mat Shuhaimi Shafi, 50 of PKR on July 2nd due to lymphoma. Parti Keadilan Rakyat PKR has announced Tafiz Principal Muhammad Zawawi Ahmad Mughni as its candidate for the Sungai Kandis State by-election on August 4th. The announcement was made by Deputy Premier and PKR President Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail at the PKR machinery launch at Padang Rakyat Jalan Kebun Shah Alam yesterday. Met after the announcement, Muhammad Zawawi, who is also Secretary of PKR's Religious Strengthening and Understanding Bureau, said he did not expect to be chosen as candidate. Born and bred in Sungai Kandis, Muhammad Zawawi is committed to carrying on Pakatan Harapan's winning streak with an even bigger majority.
Saya akan cuba untuk melaksanakan apa yang telah kami rancang bersama dulu, iaitu untuk membela rakyat, terutamanya golongan rakyat miskin dan terutamanya di kawasan Sungai Kandis banyak kawasan kampung yang perlukan pembelaan seperti longkang tersumbat, sampah dan juga lampu-lampu jalan yang perlu dipertingkatkan kemudahannya.
The 48-year-old previously worked as an imam at a Naim Mosque in Jalan Kebun since 2008. Muhammad Zawawi began his foray into politics since 1998 and has remained active at Kota Raja and Jalan Kebun until today. The by-election for the Selangor State seat will be held on August 4th, while nomination is tomorrow. Meanwhile, during her address to the party's grassroots machinery, PKR President Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said the Sungai Kandis by-election will be a litmus test on Pakatan Harapan's strength post-GE14. Hence, it is imperative to work hard to maintain or increase the majority it won in the recently concluded election.
Dan kali ini adalah penting untuk kita mengekalkan kemenangan kita di Sungai Kandis ini. Boleh tak? InsyaAllah. Inilah penting kerana bukan saja Selangor kita kekalkan dan kita kuatkan dan kita maintain kekuatan kita di Selangor, namun ini memberikan kita juga kekuatan di peringkat persekutuan. Selangor menjadi model.
Also present at the event was Selangor Menteri Besar Amiruddin Syari and PKR's Vice President Nurul Izzah Anwar. The Election Commission EC has appointed 69 observers from 6 government and non-government agencies to monitor Sungai Kandis nomination day tomorrow. According to EC Secretary Datuk Muhammad Ilyas Abu Bakar, this will be the first time representatives from Suhakam and Bersih 2.0 will be joining the EC's group of observers. Speaking to the media after officiating the Sungai Kandis briefing for electoral observers in Putrajaya, Datuk Muhammad Ilyas said those selected should use the opportunity to evaluate the electoral process conducted by the EC.
Dan kita banyakkan saluran. Saluran daripada 88 menjadi 107 saluran. Itu menyebabkan satu saluran itu dah dikurangkan kalau asalnya 750 kepada 600. orang sahaja. So lebih mudah lah.
Mudah dan lebih cepat.
Lebih cepat, ya.
Suhakam representative Sharul Aman Muhammad Sari, who is also the acting chairman of Bersih 2.0, welcomes the EC's invitation and the openness of the independent body in the new era of government. Police have once again called up Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak to record his statement concerning the luxury goods that were seized from his residences. Deputy Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Nur Rashid Ibrahim confirmed that the former Prime Minister had been summoned by the police again to facilitate investigations into the case. The former Prime Minister's lawyer, Badrul Hisham Abdullah, later disputes this, saying that no one has called Datuk Sri Najib up for questioning.
So ada banyak aspek siasatan. Satu berkaitan dengan MDB, satu berkaitan dengan money laundering, satu berkaitan dengan tuntutan-tuntutan yang dibuat oleh syarikat ini. So syarikat-syarikat yang buat tuntutan ini must verify, mesti menunjukkan bukti-bukti yang mereka ada joint seller ke whatever it is. Dia kena datang dengan bukti dia dan kita terang usaha mengumpul bukti untuk menaikkan barang kes. So barang kes ada dalam simpanan kita sedang diuruskan.
On June 27th, the police announced that the estimated amount of luxury goods seized from Datuk Sri Najib's residences was worth over 1.1 billion ringgit. It took 36 days to conclude the counting of the cash and the valuation of the goods, as it involved the expert analysis on the design cost of several items of jewellery. The highest valued item from the series of raids was a necklace worth 6.4 million ringgit. Datuk Sri Najib is currently under investigation on the 1MDB scandal, whereby he has consistently denied any wrongdoing in the debacle. A Daesh militant group supporter who had threatened to assassinate the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and Prime Minister Tun Mahathir Mohamad was among 7 suspected militants arrested by the Federal Police Counter-Terrorism Division E8 in 4 states between July 12th and 17th. The 7 suspects, comprising of 4 Malaysians and 3 Indonesians aged between 21 and 42 years, were rounded up in concurrent operations held in Terengganu, Selangor, Perak and Johor. Investigators found that the 4 suspects detained in Johor had made threats to carry out bombings in Malaysia, Indonesia and the Philippines after this year's Aidilfitri celebrations. There were also social media postings which promoted terrorism, threatening to assassinate the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and national leaders. The suspect, who was detained in Selangor, admitted to being involved with Daesh militants. The detained suspect in Perak admitted to having connections with the militant group that was involved in the killing of an Indonesian police officer. Meanwhile, the suspect in Terengganu had planned to join Daesh militant group in Syria. 23 bookies were nabbed for alleged betting activities during the recent FIFA World Cup 2018 in Malacca. According to Malacca Police Chief Dato' Abdul Jalil Hassan, the suspects aged between 20 and 50 offered online betting through mobile phone gambling apps. Dato' Abdul Jalil said the bet was not only confined to the number of goals scored, but which team received the most number of yellow and red cards.
Kesemua tangkapan masih dalam proses siasatan sebab pihak IO tengah mengumpulkan bukti-bukti untuk menunjukkan mereka ini betul-betul ada mempunyai bukti untuk disabitkan kesalahan yang mereka jalankan. Dan proses siasatan mengumpul bahan bukti kukuh dan permohonan untuk mendapatkan bantuan pakar judi dari Bukit Aman untuk pendakwaan di mahkamah nanti.
Dato' Abdul Jalil said the bookies were nabbed in 23 raids during Ops Soga, which also yielded a cash haul of 21,000 ringgit and numerous mobile phones. Coming up in the business news, Ministry wants to meet with Mama Outlets owners. The Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry wants to meet with representatives of Indian Muslim restaurants, better known as Mama Outlets, in regards to the issue of raised prices for food and beverages. Minister Datuk Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the purpose of the meeting is to provide detailed information on the ministry study on the issue.
Pertemuan itu bukanlah bersifat nak menyalahkan atau condemn each other, tidak. Okey, pertemuan itu nanti berlaku dalam suasana mesyuarah yang gunanya untuk kita bertukar-tukar maklumat, dan sebagai menteri yang bertanggungjawab dalam soal menjaga kepentingan pengguna terbanyak, kalau nanti pertemuan itu berlaku, insya-Allah saya akan berikan maklum balas, dan saya bersedia mendengar pandangan-pandangan mereka.
Based on reviews, the ministry found that 30% of mama outlets nationwide raised their prices following the zero rating of the Goods and Services Tax GST on June 1st. The findings were, however, rebutted by association representatives. Datuk Saifuddin Nasution spoke after launching the Arabian Fest promotion program organised by Lulu Hypermarket. The days of cleaning and scrubbing white school shoes will be a thing of the past after the Education Ministry allows all school children to wear black shoes during the school session next year. Its Minister, Dr. Mazli Malik, said the decision was made after the ministry took into consideration the views of parents and guardians it received after he took over the helm. He said this in a talk show program Bicara Minda bersama Menteri Pendidikan, a discussion with the Education Minister in Shah Alam. Dr. Mazli said the decision to allow school children to wear black shoes was one of the innovations which will be implemented by the ministry to ensure that parents once again choose to send their children to national schools to study. The minister also shared his views on other questions that were highlighted during the talk show, of which was about lighter school bags and students to master more than 2 languages. Dr. Mazli also promised to upgrade the dignity of being a teacher by making it a major career and not the last career choice for the young generation. Meanwhile, as part of PH election manifesto, the government pledged to allow fresh graduates who earn less than 4,000 ringgit per month to delay settling their National Higher Education Fund Corporation PTPTN loans.
Sekarang ini barulah kita inginkan ambil maklumat daripada LHDN dan juga semua pihak yang terlibat. Dan dalam isu ini, pihak KPM kami bekerjasama dekat dengan Kementerian Kewangan untuk dapatkan semua maklumat. Bukan setakat LHDN tetapi juga agensi-agensi lain.
But for now, borrowers earning less than 4,000 ringgit a month will have to continue paying their loans until the government has worked out a way to fulfill its manifesto pledge. This is due to the debt situation left behind by the previous government. Sabah, the land below the wind, has welcomed wholeheartedly the announcement that the Pakatan Harapan-led government would be fulfilling its promise to give 20% royalty to petroleum-producing states in the country. Chief Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdul said it was an indication of Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamed's concern for Sabah rights, and therefore the announcement came as very welcome news for all Sabahans. Datuk Sri Muhammad Shafi pointed out that seeking for 20% oil royalty was part of Parti Warisan Sabah's manifesto, an election promise made together with its partners in Pakatan Harapan. He also said it was a clear reflection that the new government in Malaysia and Sabah was serious about fulfilling the aspirations of the people who wanted change. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad expressed hope the royalty will be used for the goods of these states and not misused to strengthen political parties and for other purposes. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad will attend the upcoming 73rd United Nations General Assembly session that will open on September 18th in New York, according to Foreign Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah. During his speech at the UNGA this time, Tun Dr. Mahathir will highlight Malaysia's foreign policy. Datuk Saifuddin was speaking at the welcoming ceremony for newly appointed Deputy Foreign Minister Datuk Marzuki Yahya at Wisma Putra Putrajaya yesterday. Meanwhile, when asked about a Porter report claiming that fugitive Malaysian businessman Low Tek Jo or Jo Lo had been arrested in China, Datuk Saifuddin said that the issue comes under the purview of the police. He expressed his full confidence in the capability of the police to seek out, arrest and bring back Jo Lo, as they have certain international protocols to follow and they are more proficient. He added that Wisma Putra just facilitates when its views and facilitation are needed. And that concludes this afternoon's news. On to in our top story, Balakong Assemblyman dies in car accident. Join us again at 7 this evening. I'm Renee Fong. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant afternoon.